Okay, we're going to get started on creating our mouse pad. We are doing a collage in Photoshop. The word collage just means a collection of images. We're going to sort of mash them together into a complete file, similar to the examples that you've seen in class. You're going to make your collage your own uh, based on the interests that you have in your life. So I'm just going to show you a couple things. First thing I'd like to show you is creating a file on your desktop. So this is my desktop. I've got my image of my dog. This is my personal computer. You're on a school computer, so your desktop will look more professional. It'll have a different image in the background here. Regardless, we right click on the desktop here and go to New Folder. And we're going to name this folder Collage Mousepad. And we can just go ahead and press enter. You can see I can move this file around now, same as I can move these files around now. You can see that in my other files on my desktop, you can see icons representing something that's inside of this folder. There's nothing inside of this folder right now. As soon as we start to save into here, we'll get started. So now that you have this file, what I'd like you to do now is go to your Adobe Creative Cloud and open up Photoshop. Here is where we're going to set up our mousepad file. We're going to create a file the exact size that we need for a mousepad. You can see down here, I've got my cloud documents up and loaded right here. This is an example of a mousepad that I've had, and this one here as well. You're going to see bits and parts of both of these as I go through the videos with you. Create a new file here, and these are the parameters that I want the file to be. We are going to make sure that this drop-down box says inches, and that we are dealing with a file 9.75 in width and 8.25 in height. We want to make sure that that is a landscape orientation and not a portrait orientation. Our color mode, CMYK, 16-bit. And our background contents, we would like transparent. This is a good spot to name your file. It says Untitled1. I want to erase that and call this Your Name Collage Mousepad. Right there. Your name. First and last name, Collage Mousepad. It's a great name to name a file. With all those parameters set, I can go ahead and hit Create. This is Photoshop. Yours might look a little different than this. Your side toolbar here might look different. For instance, you probably have layers right here ready to go. Whereas when I click layers, I get a separate layer box that shows up over here. It works exactly the same way, just that yours should be here already. If it's not, you can always ask and I can always help you find where your layers are. But knowing where your layers are is very, very important. This checker pattern that we see, this represents transparency. There is no background. There's no white. There's no black. There's nothing on the background. You can think of a checkered pattern like this as see-through, as transparent. For our collage, we want to fill this entire space and not see any of this checkered pattern in our background at all. Okay, so now we're going to save this to the cloud, and we're going to make sure that we go File up here. Save as. And you should have a cloud option right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. We do not want on your computer. We just want to hit save. This is saving to the Creative Cloud. Make sure that says Creative Cloud right up here. Go ahead and hit save. This way, when I close this file right here, it's ready to go for me in this location on our cloud. Your Name Collage Mousepad. We don't need this right now. I just wanted to get us started. Take a look really quickly at the mousepad examples that I have. The entire space is filled. The reason this is black is because the only thing that's on there is a transparent Workspace essentially is what you've created. So now with your file created and ready to go, what we are going to do is go to the internet and download several images that describe who we are. I'm just going to go ahead and open up this file here really quickly, and I'm going to show you what we've got. We've got all these images crammed together to make one image. We've got sad T-Rex here, baby Jack Jack, The Rock, Subaru rally car, my no problema, etc., etc., etc. If I close this file and I open up this file, this is the same process, just with different images. This is my Pride mousepad. I've got my Pride dabbing unicorn, my unicorn with the rainbow here, a little Star Trek unicorn, my Discord unicorn, all different kinds of Pride images collaged onto one canvas. So in order to do that, what we've got to do is take to the internet. Find your browser. In this case, it's Chrome. I think on your computers, it's going to be Microsoft Edge. They'll work the same way. We are going to go into the search bar, and now you can start searching for images that you are interested in. Maybe you like basketball. Type in basketball, and you want to change your search to images. You don't want all, you want images. And now when you scroll through this, you can see all these images of basketball. So let's say I really liked this image. This is a fun image. I'm going to click on this image. I can now right-click and save image as. Be careful. Do not save link as. You want to save image as. So when I click on the save image as, oh, this is interesting. We've got an AVIF file. This is not what we want. This file will not work for our purposes. The only files that will work are JPEGs, JPEG, or PNG files. So we cannot save this file. We're going to cancel this, and we're going to go find a file that will work. Let's say I like this image. Most of the time, a photograph will be a JPEG file. I'm going to click on this file here, right-click, do not save link as, you want to save image as. And here we go, JPEG. Because it's a photograph, chances are it's a JPEG image. That's what we want. We are going to name our photograph. It's very important that we name our photograph or our image before we save it. This is going to come up later on in the Photoshop demonstration. It is a very important part of this process. I'm going to name this one basketball player because I don't know who it is because I don't watch basketball. We need to save it where we created our folder for our collage, which was the desktop. So find desktop on your list, find your file that you made, collage mousepad. Go ahead and save this image. Now that image is saved, we can close this. We don't need to look at it. I'm going to minimize my browser and my Photoshop. And our collage mousepad file, when I double click on it, it's going to open up and you're going to see the basketball player right there. Giving it some time, you're going to start to see images inside of this folder. It just probably needs a second to catch up. But you can see double clicking in here, it's going to bring up your basketball player. Your next step is to fill this folder with many, 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 many images. You can see all the different images I have here. The more images you have to work with, the better. Some may make it, some may not make it, but you want to just do some diligence, save a bunch of images on your computer, and go from there. I will say that you need probably a minimum of 15 images, if not 20, to get started. A quick tip, something that has good contrast is going to work easier for you in the future. So you can see this basketball here has white background on it. You're going to be using a tool later on called the magic wand, and it's going to select white or basketball depending on where you click it, and having a high contrast, a very clear depiction of what is and isn't being selected to make your process a little easier. Your program might get a little confused in an area like this, where this background and his shorts are sort of similar, and the fact that they're darker kind of colors. It would find this arm versus this background very, very easily. Same with his knee pad here and the background, it would find that very, very easily. But essentially, we're going to be cutting out backgrounds and just leaving images of the guy holding the basketball moving forward. So go ahead, search a bunch of images up, find JPEGs or PNGs, and get that file, collage file, loaded up with images. All right, have fun, and I'll catch you in the next video.